some more top tips, if you wouldn't mind. This time, for someone starting out again in property investing, what would be your best tips for finding properties, like sourcing, the negotiation, like with the vendor or with the landlord or with the estate agent, and then with top tips for financing? So if they ain't really got much money, you've mentioned a couple of little things there. If you wouldn't mind just summing up in this slide with your top tips for sourcing, negotiations, and actually buying.
Yeah, well, finance is really from angel investors. Either angel investors and want a good return for their money, so it might be somebody that's got £50,000 or £100,000 in the bank that's not giving them any great return in the bank. We all know what the return the banks give, which is squiddly do. We all know that. So as a property investor, I'm going to offer them 10 or 12%. I mean, that's the going rate as an investor. You can offer a little bit more if they're a close member of the family, just because you want to keep them happy. But 10 or 12% is the going rate, and then I would structure that with them and say, look, build a relationship with them, meet them for coffee, tell them what you've got, say that I need X, tell them that this is when you're going to give it them back and this is what return they're going to get. And as long as you pay them back on time, they will invest with you again.
Okay.
So that's how you raise the finance with to do your deals. Finding the deals, I believe that there's if you look at the umbrella, there's two main ways. You can either do it yourself, or you can get a sourcer to do it for you. I've done both. My favorite is to get the sourcer to do it for you, because if you're going into an area that you don't know, but you know, I mean, for example, one of my strategies is money in, money out strategy, which means that in today's market, money goes in, and then all of the money comes out at the 6-month stage.
Right.
So that's.
And why 6 months, by the way, just for those who don't know?
Oh, the reason is really because you cannot refinance a property you've owned for less than 6 months.
Right.
So you have to wait 6 months after you've owned a property. So you could buy a property cash using other people's money, and then you can refinance to pull the money back out to pay your financier off, and give them their return, as long as that return comes out of the deal.
Yeah.
And I structure it so that any fees, like sourcing fee, if someone's out there sourcing for you, exclusively for you, they're going to charge you 2 or 3K, whatever the case may be. But that money is well spent, because you haven't had to use your time or your money in terms of attracting these vendors through advertising that they can go and do for you. So if they're the hottest sourcing agent in that particular town, then you go to them and say, look, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm looking to work with you, and if they give you 2, 3 or 4 deals and you don't take action, they know that you're messing them about and they won't want to really work with you. So you've got to be committed and to act. If the first one don't work, not a problem, but you've got to, if they come to you with deal 2 and deal 3 and they were better than the first 1 or 2, then, and you're still not taking action, then you've got to put a question mark on your ability to move forward. So I would certainly be in a position to move forward with finance and your goals, if that's what you want to achieve.
So with regards to the sourcing and having that, say you went with a sourcer and you know that they're going to get it at a discounted they're going to find you the nice property and all the rest of it, and they're going to have their fee. Is there an amount between the actual value of the property and the amount of discount that you need to include their fees and everything, and all the people you're paying back your JV partners with? Is there an amount, like you mentioned before, find a property that's at least 25% below market value, and that will then work. Is there a figure, a rule of thumb that you like to work with?
Yeah, I think anything between 30 and 35% below market value usually works.
Right. Okay.
Anything between that usually works. If it's 30% below market value, you've got, just supposing you've got £3,000 for sourcing fee, you've got £1,000 for legals, you've got £400 for valuation. Yeah, that's probably about it, I would say. So that comes to sort of £4,500. So once you've know that you've got a deal, then that £4,500 needs to come out of the deal. Plus, if the property is, say, £50,000 and you've offered the investor 10%, that's £5,000. So you've got to take out £9,500 or £10,000, if we round it off to that, from within the deal to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's usually somewhere in the region of 30 to 35%. 35% to be on the safe side. But however, even if it's 30% and you end up leaving, you know, a few grand in the deal, then the way to think about it is that for the first 6 months, there's no mortgage on the property.
Yeah.
So all that cash flow is going to come to you anyway. So if you're renting out for £500 a month, times 6 is £3,000. So that could alone pay for your sourcing fees.
Okay. And so, in your experience, have you found that you're able to get sources? Because I would imagine that most people out there will have this kind of question: why would a property sourcer, be giving you properties that are 30 to 40% below market value when they could either keep them themselves or I don't know what else they're going to do with them.
Yeah.
But, why are sources going to be giving you deals that are 30-35% below market value? And actually, the second part to that question is, given that everything's starting to be all rainbows and cupcakes at the moment in the media, where they're saying actually we're now in a buoyant market, properties moving quickly, being able to find these deals that are 30-35% BMV, they must be quite scarce. So one, can you find them? Sorry, one is, why would a source? Yeah, so one, can you find them, these 30-35% BMV properties? And two, the sourcer that finds them, why are they going to give them to you if they are that scarce when they could keep them for themselves? So
yeah, sure. Question. Great question, Azu. Very, very good question. First of all, London is very challenging. London is a challenge to getting these types of deals. Anything around 20 or 25% is even a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, anything 15% is a challenge. So, I mean, when I first started in end of 2007, I started in South London, and I was just going out there, and in fact, not only was I doing 6 or 8 viewings a week, I was doing something in the region of 15 viewings a week, you know, because I just wanted to just get something, and I knew if I did this for long enough, something is going to happen. Anyway, so yeah, London is a bit of a challenge to get those types of deals, which is why I branched out for that reason. I did a lot of advertising in London. I did a lot of meeting with vendors. I did a lot of negotiating, and to be quite frank, I didn't do very well at it. You know, although it was very good, how I came across, I just didn't do very well. You know, negotiating kind of the deals I was looking for with vendors was a challenge in London for me. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to branch out. I then invested up in I bought up in Nottingham, I bought in Kent, I bought in South Wales, and in fact South Wales is one of the areas I'm investing in now, because I know sources there. I'm getting to know more people. I'm going there this week to meet some more sources, and just to get to know people that are bringing you these deals. I've had a deal on the table a few days ago. This deal is £44,000 purchase price, £6,000 refurb costs. On the open market value, end value would be worth around £70,000. It's a 3-bedroom terraced house. It works beautifully. So I'm in the process of talking with my sourcer regarding that at the moment. I'm going to see it this week as well. And the cash flow is also I could do 2+2 on that. And so no matter what happens with interest rates, I could, I'll still be in a positive cash flow situation. And any investor who buys below market value knows they make their money when they buy, not when they sell.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that. So yeah, and why wouldn't a sourcer not want to take it for themselves or give it to their close family member and all that sort of stuff? So I would say this is the sourcer's business. They've made a company out of it. This is what they want to do full time. They want to continue to serve other investors that want to invest in that particular area, and they want to make a sourcing fee from it, and if they are charging £3,000 a pot, then all they need is 3 or 4 of them, and they've got over 10k, and if they do that a month, and then that's more than they would have got from renting the property out.
Yeah.
And if they've got to a certain level where they've bought loads and that's it, they've achieved their goal, they want to now work, they feel that that's their strengths, because as they were buying, they've learned how to do what they want to work and serve other people and make even a lot of money, because there could be a lot of money involved by the time they've serve other investors.
So there are still below market value deals out there, but you might just have to go further afield than where you currently looking, especially if you live in London. And the second part is a sourcer's mindset is different. Their mindset is I have a sourcing company where I find people properties, I find solutions to the problems that they have. So if your problem is I want 30 to 40% BMV property, they will try and solve that for you as best they can.
Absolutely. Yeah, and if they can't, then they'll come to you and say, look, we haven't quite got that, what you were looking for, but we have got this. Would that still work for you? Yeah. Then it's up to you to either still go for it, or once you've done the numbers, if it's not quite right, then just walk away. But then it might be right for someone else.
Yeah. And how about negotiations? Any advice on how to be a better negotiator or how to negotiate deals?
Yeah, I always say the first person that mentions the price loses.
Right.
So one of my companies, South London Property Limited. I'm one of the founding members and director, and my forte, if you like, is I'm a people's person. So I'm the front or the face of the company. So my key quality and attribute is to negotiate with the agents and bring deals to the table. Where then my other 1 or 2 colleagues, their focus is more kind of admin, doing the legals, doing the contracts, doing the paperwork, and then then there's lettings, and then I also look after lettings, and then one of my other colleagues looks after property management. Yes, there's a humongous amount of work to do, but if you're involved in a team, then you can distribute those tasks equally, allowing you to A, focus on other projects, and B, focus on your strengths. And so you fill the gap where with other people that is their strengths. So they may not necessarily be the face or the front of the company, because then negotiation isn't their cup of tea. you know, where it is mine, you know. And the other area that which is one of my strong points is lettings. I'm very good with advertising and taking phone calls and meeting potential tenants. I don't do that now. I just manage my lettings manager.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's. I think you've given us some really good information on this particular one. So, the next thing that I'd really like to ask you is,